Okay, this Wyvern deck tech is going to be a little different from the other ones that I've done previously. Someone on the Wyvern Facebook page uh, kind of challenged me, really just asked me, but I take it as a challenge to make a constructed deck with no cards from Phoenix or Chameleon. His reasoning was a lot of players quit before those cards came in. The game was starting to die, and they never saw those cards, so they don't even know about them. He's probably right about that. I don't know what the state of Wyvern was when Phoenix first came out. We were playing at home. We weren't involved in any tournaments. We were just playing casually for fun, not knowing what we were doing, but we were having a blast. So maybe when Phoenix came out, the game was already dying. Maybe a lot of people had stopped playing. I don't know. But regardless, I decided, okay, let me see if I can do it. And I just decided to pick my Little Dragons deck, which I've made a deck tech video for a while ago. It's in my playlist, which will be this video will also be in that same exact playlist. So you just scroll down to where you see Little Dragons, and that will be it. Now, oddly, in this version of my Little Dragons deck, I played 4 Power Switch and 4 Medea Spell, and I'm not sure why I did. I don't even think that's the right thing to do. I know that sounds weird. It's like, wait, why not? Power Switch, Little Dragons. Doesn't that make sense? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. Just give me your opinion on what I've done here with this deck. So this is the deck here, plus these cards here were in the deck. So together, that's what this deck was. Power Switch and Medea Spell aren't here. They're not in the deck right now. And these are the cards that I'm adding from basically Kingdom, well, Premier, Limited, and Kingdom. It's all the same set, except Kingdom has like 50 other cards. So like this card right here, Green Dragon, is in Kingdom, even though you're seeing that's the Phoenix logo right there. But it is from the Kingdom set. So they all knew Green Dragon. Okay. So these are the cards that were in there, and I got to hold this so I don't get that glare that I had to take out because they're either from Phoenix or Chameleon. So we have Dragonfly, Ogancho, Violet, love Violet, so cool looking too. Hidden Naga, nice simple dragon. Divine Naga, very nice card. Mixquaddle, of course, in my 3 fields of gold. So those go out. What goes in, what I've added, I decided to try, because I don't have the gold generation now with Field of Gold and Gold Dig and stuff like that. So I'm going to try Golden Dragon, which is hard to make work, but maybe it will. I don't know. I've added a Thuhan. Seacrops. I think Seacrops is just as good a dragon as Azidahaka, unless you want to run Ravens, and there are no Ravens in this deck, so it's the same, just as good as Azidahaka. I added 1 more Scout, Keo Lung, for 1 more form of card draw, and I've added 2 Pits, and I'll show you why I did those in a second. So with the Treasure Hoard, I had to take out Prometheus, Crickets, 4 Crickets, 4 Minotaurs, and 4 Celestials. So not as bad. Pretty much everything was current except for the strength modifiers. I've added the following. Now, plus I took out the Medea Spell and the Power Switch. I think that's the right amount. So here's what I've added. I'm going to go with 4 Sacrifice to get gold, and as well as take gold from my opponent. I was going to add 4 Gold Digs, and I decided, nope, I don't want to give them gold. Why should I do that if I don't have to? 4 Marduks, and we're going to go with 4 Magical Swords. Those are the only strength modifiers in this deck. But I'm also going with 4 Possession Spells. I was originally just going to go 1 or 2 of them. And then I said, no, I'll just go ahead and go with all 4. I've added 1 more Golden Apple, so now there's 4 in the deck. And I've added 2 more Knight, so now there's 4 in the deck. All right, so here is what was already in the deck, plus what I just showed you. Now I'm going to keep both, really, but I'm going to keep them together somehow. All right, so we have Green Dragon, Azidahaka, a two strength flying dragon for 2 gold is very efficient because it flies. It's a very good dragon. Geats, Dragonelle. Then we have Lambton Worm and Laidley Worm, Vampire. So everything is 0, 1, or 2 strength, with one exception coming up. Lindworm. Then we have 4 scouts instead of 3. So we've got the Keolung plus Grendel, Delphine, and Mo-O. Again, this card, I was going to put Loki in this deck too. The problem with Loki and Mo-O is you have to do what it does to get the gold. You have to do it twice. Because the first time it works, all you did was get back the gold that you paid to get the ability to get you the gold, which doesn't really make any sense. But if this was free, this card would be way better than a scout that doesn't have any gold and no abilities. So I'm thinking, well, how about make it that the first time it works, you get 2 gold with Mo-O and Loki. The first time you hit it, you get 2, and after that you get 1. That way you win the moment if it works once, because it's not very likely it's gonna work twice. I mean, there's a chance it could work 3 times, 4 times, but it's not nearly as likely. And then my 1 3 strength dragon, of course, is Basilisk. So this is in here for gold, but I gotta hit 2 terrains to get gold, and I didn't even bother putting Loki in because the odds are, I mean, maybe I should put Loki in because if I win 2 battles, I made a gold. So I had 1 hurricane and 1 island just to have an alternate way to kill or steal their big flying dragons. And now I've got 2 pits that I've added, and I'm going to show you why. So in this deck, well, this is why. We're doing Growth Spurt. Well, this isn't really why. 4 copies. So all of my 2 strength dragons are getting buffed from Growth Spurt. So if I played Power Switch and I attack with my 2 strength dragon and I go up against a bigger dragon and I Power Switch, I'm sure the problem is I don't think then the Growth Spurt will work. I don't think so, because if the base strength goes up above 3, wouldn't that counter the Growth Spurt? Yet I had it in here. I also took out Medea's spell kind of for the same reason. The Growth Spurt is giving me, well, I'm going to do Growth Spurt and I'm going to do 2 copies of Feast. So this basically is my power switch, and I really don't need Medea's spell. If I'm weakening their dragons already and making my guys big, that's the current strength. That's not the base strength. So I don't think Medea's spell is necessary either, and I don't think power switch is. 4 magnetic fields. I just have 1 here because I just keep this off to the side, so I'm just going to toss that over there. Running 4 Dragon Slayers in this deck. I decided not to make any change. Granted, my feasts will hopefully weaken them, but I might not get them in. They might kill it. So I'm only going with 1 Jason. I think this is the same as my Little Dragons deck. These are the same cards. And 2 Lancelots, because I am going to weaken them. So now I can slay them if I can get them at 3 strength or less. So I can just slay them. So I'm running 2. So then I am going to go obviously with Poison Chalice, because if I'm losing the battle, then I can still hopefully win the battle. And with my 4 magnetic fields, hopefully that'll survive. But that's a lot of gold. You got to spend a lot of gold to do that. 4 knights to get out of the battle if I don't have the other way. 4 golden apples in case another way to get out of the battle that I'm losing, keep them alive. That also works with Keolung, who if I lose the battle, I get to draw a card. Going to go with, this was all in the deck originally, 4 Meteor Showers and 2 Whirlpools. Thought about going up to 4 with that, but nah. And we'll just still go with 1 Marina to counter their Dragon Slayers, 1 Kiss, and 1 Volcanic Eruption. And I already showed the other cards. So that's my Little Dragons without any Phoenix or Chameleon, and then I'll switch it back whenever I need to, pretty much. So that's the deck. What are your thoughts about this deck? What do you think? Am I right? I shouldn't have Power Switch or Medea Spell? Because if I'm right, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to use them when I go back to the other cards with, with these guys. If I go back and use these guys who are great for fighting with little dragons, I won't bother with Power Switch. I'll make some changes to it regardless. Okay, hope you enjoyed this deck tech. To the person on the Wyvern page, hope you like this. Let's chat on the Facebook page. Let's chat on the YouTube comments. Also, I've written a D&D novel for any of you that are interested in Dungeons and Dragons. And in my second book, I incorporated some dragon cards. Some of them Wyvern, some of them L5R, and some of them Magic the Gathering. They are in the story. The adventuring party finds cards of dragons, and it's all for a thing that comes up in the story for what it's ultimately going to be for, but they're still not exactly sure what it's going to be for. They're like, does this mean we can do this, or is it something else? So that's in the story. That is also on my channel in a playlist. All you have to do is go to my playlist, click, look for Forestera's Fate, and you can listen to the story. I self-published it on Amazon. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, I think you'll enjoy it. The few reviews that I do have on Amazon all basically said, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this story. It reads just like one guy said reads just like a D&D campaign. So I hope you'll check that out. I also have a really cool video. My books, I posted something on a community post, but my last two posts, one of them is about that book, and you can click on it and just start listening to the story because the whole playlist is right there. And the last post that I just posted is all about my father's art. You can look at, there's a video, and you can click on it and take a look at his art and see what you think. He doesn't have any art of dragons though, so. But he does have some cool, scary monsters. I'll let you see this one. I accidentally hung this thing upside down. There was no way to hang it, and I had to attach some stuff on the back to hang it. And when I hung it, I'm like, oh, it's upside down. That's a big, giant eyeball that's its mouth. I said, oh, so this is the thing that actually kicked Sauron's ass. So it's a huge, huge, giant eye. This is the eye of Sauron, not the eye of Sauron. This is the eye that killed the eye of Sauron. That's what I say. But it's all paper. Unfortunately, you can see up here, it's hanging over. I need to really fix it. But he did a lot of crazy, huge pieces of art like that and all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's a really cool video because we put on an art show in his home that we turned into an art gallery. And I think you'll like it. It's real short. It's like 3.5 minutes long or something like that. All right. That's it. I'm done. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.